Hey everyone, and welcome. Hey, you've made it to Friday, right? So it's just kind of a good thing. So you're partway through, your day. It's two o'clock here on the East Coast, anyway. For the most part, I don't know why I say East Coast because I'm not even close to the coast. I guess it's the North Coast because I'm up near Lake Erie. Literally, if I go less, I think it's less than a mile, maybe a mile up, then I run into Lake Erie. So I guess it's kind of a coastal thing, right? Anyway, another edition of the HubCast here at Cyber Social Hub. And again, I promised to do these things every week as best that I can. And I am still moving forward with it. This one was a little bit of a panic, though. I tested this software that we're going to talk about today and show you guys a little bit how to use it. I tested it, when was it? Back in like October, something like that. And man, it worked great. It was flawless. And so we went ahead and I had it. I put everything kind of in a queue of like when I'm going to do something, and this was sitting there in the queue. It's like, oh man, I've been wanting to do the show on this software for the longest time. So I said, let's go ahead and do it. So I set it all up, got it running, and then I decided to test the software. It's like, does it work? It doesn't work right now. I got it working though, so no worries. We can move forward with the show. I was like a little bit panicked just a couple hours ago trying to get this thing to running, and I'm going to show you if you have the exact same problem I had, which you probably will if you run it this way. How to fix it, how to get it corrected. So. Good stuff. Anyway, hey, thanks, John. Thanks for sharing that out on social media. Really appreciate it, man. Um, we, we, again, we do these things for two reasons. Number one, we like to get information out to the community. Maybe there's a trick or something that you didn't know before. Or I learn something every day, like how to fix something I didn't expect to break, or somebody will mention something here in chat that I learn all the time, nonstop. So it's nice and sharing in the community, and so a good chance for the community to get together in a live show, have a little bit of fun too. It's Friday, and that's the other reason. It's Friday. Nobody really wants to work on Friday. Saying, "Hey, I got to watch this training at Cyber Social hosts up every Friday." So you can start calling it a training, because technically that's what this is going to be. You are going to learn something. Hopefully, if you don't already use the software called Spiderfoot, I don't know if you guys do, but backtracking real quick, part of what helps us gain traction on YouTube, obviously, since we're broadcasting out like we have been the last several weeks to LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and then our home channel, which we consider YouTube, and I call that the home channel because that's where the chat interfaces with. So if you're on any of the other networks like LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, and you try to chat with us, I can see Facebook as it comes in, a comment. I can see it here on my control panel, but I can't respond to you via the chat mechanism. I can obviously talk to you back on video. Twitter and LinkedIn just say, nah, we're not going to allow that in our API, so they don't allow it. So that's why I would say, come on over to YouTube. You can chat with us live when it's going on there, and that's where I usually put a lot of the links and stuff down there. And if you hear me say, "Hey, I'm putting a link in chat," obviously you guys can't see it on those other networks. So it's best to come on over. Man, we got a good crew in here today, so everybody's good. It's Friday, right? Just kind of chill. But one of the things, which I keep forgetting to say this, my kids get on me all the time. It says, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the little bell when we do go live. It'll alert you if you're logged into your account. That helps with the algorithm. That helps get the word out about Cyber Social Hub. So John, again, that's what made me think of this in the first place, was I appreciate that you shared it out on social. For sure. Any little bit helps. Because again, most of you guys already know that, all the regulars that are here. I was an investigator in a really small community. Zero resources almost at all. Of course, it was back in the dark ages anyway. And there wasn't a whole lot of groups out there to join for digital investigations. So, and that's again part of the reason Cyber Social Hub exists, is to kind of help each other out and give that information a place for everybody to go. So anyway, if you can like and subscribe to it, that would be phenomenal. Better yet, hit that little bell. That way you get notified every time we do go live, because we have a lot of live shows coming up in later next month. We're going to be down to IASIS. Yep, we're going to be going live. I think it's going to be the Thursday, Friday, and then the following Monday, and For the life of me, I do not remember the dates of it. So I'll tell you. I think it goes up to the first, something like that. So if you go like May 1st backwards, then 27th and 28th. I don't know. Megan will yell at me and give me the correct dates if which I'm wrong, which I probably am. But anyway, so no guest on the show today. Oh, there you go. See, Megan actually did it right here. So it's going to be April 27th through May 1st. For that, I'm going to shorten this chat window down a little bit. It is really long. There we go. That's when we'll be down at ACES down in Florida and broadcasting down there. Megan's here to be my calendar. Hey, I appreciate it. For those of you guys who don't know and are new maybe to the show, but Megan's with Cyber Social Hub. She works a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, stuff you don't ever see happen. She makes happen and makes everyone's life a little bit easier. So thank you, Megan, for everything that you do. I don't know if Abby's kind of hiding in here today too, but Abby's one of our newest members of the company as well. And I don't know if she's in chat or not, but she does a lot of the graphics for us of things and a lot of the social media stuff too. So I want to thank her as well. So very good stuff. Okay, so we are here to learn. There are no sponsors of the show today. So we're going to get right into it. And it's going to be a little bit interactive because it's just me. Now, granted, I have a background in radio, so I can sit here and talk all day long. My poor staff knows this all too well. But I want to get some feedback and some interaction to some of the stuff that we're going to share and show today. And if you guys have ever used these things, I love these tools. I wish these tools were around when I was doing active investigations. It's phenomenal. But how many of you guys, if any of you, have ever either heard of a piece of software called Spiderfoot? Now, while I'm waiting for you guys to answer, because I'm living about 5 seconds in the future, it used to be a professional copy of this that you could get called Spiderfoot HX. That has since changed if you are up in the OSINT community. It is now, I'll have to find the name of it again. I just forgot it. I didn't write it down because I literally just found out as I was prepping for this show yesterday. I realized that it had changed, and it's completely something else now. However, the open source version is still there. It still works, and we love open source. If you guys like Python, I'll tell you what, this thing is, I'm typing a password. I can't talk at the same time, but I'm going to show it to you guys, and I'm going to provide some links for you as well. Let me jump over here. I'm going to grab the link for you guys real quick and put it into chat because I think it also might be in the show notes already. I threw some stuff down there, but right here, let's copy this out and paste it down into chat. So there it'll be chat, and I'll make sure I put it in the show notes. I'm pretty sure I already did, but I can't remember if somebody's looking on the YouTube page right now. I'm not. I'm in some weird software control panel stuff. That'd be great, but I think it's there, but I also put it into chat for you. Now, this is an open source tool. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Kali Linux. How many of you guys have used Kali Linux before? This works in any flavor of Linux, by the way. It doesn't have to be Kali. I was trying to cheat and do one that's already pre-installed, so I wouldn't have to go through all the pain in the butt hassle of installing it. And it kind of was just a little miserable. Because I was getting results, but I wasn't getting the proper results. So here is that website I just sent you guys. It's in dark mode because it's Kali Linux, right? Yeah, Ubuntu. I like Linux. I really do. I ditched Windows, I don't know how many years ago, and everybody uses Macs here, which is similar command line wise, but I really like Linux. Always have. So, and you can just, I don't know. I'm not that bright, and I think Python's easy, and it just happened to be easier in Linux back in the day before Windows was a thing with it, and it just made it easier. So that's where I learned, and so that's where I'm comfortable. So what's what we're going to show you here. Now, I'm going to also show you a couple things. Let me get my Kali Linux squared away here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and just minimize this down because this is Kali Linux. This is the latest flavor of Kali Linux, which is 2023.1, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the latest version. It works fine on 2022-2 February of last year when they updated. Works fine on that one too. I just updated this thinking that, hey, maybe there was a problem. But I'm aware that you can't see the whole screen. I don't know why. I don't know why my screen share is doing that. But I want to show you guys something. I'm just dropping down. I know you can't see the whole screen. I apologize for that. I'm not sure why Ecamm's doing that, but um, if we come down here and we slide down to information gathering, right here, number one, information gathering in Kali Linux. And then there's a thing here called OSINT analysis right here. And right here is Spiderfoot and Spiderfoot command line right here. These I thought were going to be, oh gosh, this is going to be great. It's already built in. I can just run my VM here, which I'm running a VM of Kali Linux. And I thought it was going to be super easy. Not the case. So there are some bugs for some reason in the installed version of Kali Linux, which I did confirm this with, people on the internet versus the one that you install yourself. So I'm going to show you how to reinstall it and install it yourself. You can use this one. It does work for like if you're doing recon on on DNS, on domains, trying to extract emails from a domain, things like that. It'll work for that, okay. But for some reason, it does not connect to like a lot of the social accounts when you're trying to pull username information, stuff like that, because it would not find any information on me, and I'm an easy target to go find anything on. So I'm going to show you guys this here right now. So again, Kali Linux, but it works on any flavor of Linux because I'm going to actually show you how to raw install it to make your life a little bit easier. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to open up just a plain old terminal window. There we go. Plain old terminal window. You can see it's Kali Linux. There it is. This is actually saying it's the old flavor, but it's not. I've updated it. I updated it because I thought that was the problem. But here we go. So I'm going to look and see where I'm at here. All right, I'm in home Parallels. You can obviously tell I'm on a Mac because I'm using a Parallels VM to do this. I'm going to list out my file directories, and you can see I've already created a folder right here called Spiderfoot. And I'd recommend that you guys install this very similar to how I'm about to do this. So I'm going to click back over to this GitHub right here, right? Where's it at? Right here, the code. So you come down here, and here is your path to install this thing, right? Just copy this out. There's a little copy button right here. So just hit that, and it'll say, oh, copied. So you have that on your clipboard. I'm going to jump right back over to this. So I'll show you some of the commands that I was running to grab this. Right there it is. So literally, you just type git, Git, clone, and then paste that URL, and it'll take care of business for you right there. And that's what I did. It just right there in my user home folder, and just created it. I can't do it again because it'll yell at me and say, hey, there's already data in that folder. Don't do it again. So I'm not going to do it again. And then you have some dependencies and stuff to run. But if you go over to this page right here, back over here, it will literally tell you, everything that you need to do to get this thing installed. Okay. If you have any problems, maybe I'll put a quick tutorial on the details of this thing, getting the dependencies installed. But if you're in Kali Linux, there shouldn't be a need to install the dependencies because they're already installed for you, which makes it really nice. Okay. So any questions on that? I hope not, because we're going to move forward with it. Now, it's a hybrid command tool, which I know some of you are maybe a little intimidated by that. No big deal. Super easy to use because we're going to be in the command line for about 10 seconds. That's it. Because what they've done is they've built this really nice interface into the software, which is a mini web server, right? Which we can jump over then to the web browser and grab our information out. So I'll show you how to do that here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Oh, okay. So I'm going to get rid of that. And once you have this thing installed, I'm going to change directory over to Spiderfoot folder, right? I want to go over to that directory. So I'm going to change that there. Now I'm there. You can see list. Ta-da, there I am. Okay. And this is the go. All right. There. Now, this is different from the one that's in Kali Linux. The one that's in Kali Linux, you just type the full word, I think, Spiderfoot. Yeah. And then issue the command. But in this one, and I'm going to use all these cheat codes, you just issue the Python 3 command and then sf.py-l. And then we're going to type, there's no place like home, right? 127.0.0.1. And you can put really any port that you want over here. I was using 5001 for my initial, and it was causing that's one that was causing grief. So I switched over to 5002 is the port. So again, we're going to issue the command Python. We're going to tell it what script to run, which is this one right here. And we're in this directory, right? We're going to tell it, hey, we need this to create I think L stands for link, if I remember right. I'd have to look. And this is the link it's going to create because we're going to end up pasting that into our browser. And I'm going to show you that here in just a second. So I'm just going to hit enter from here. Fingers crossed. Live demos, right? Fingers crossed. Hey, it worked. Look at there. Okay. So now the web server is running at that address. See that? So it just says to use it, pick the web browser of your choice. Has to be on the same machine, obviously. I do that for people who've never used this stuff before. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit open link up here. Right click and hit open link. And you'll see it pop up. That's it. Look at that. It brought up. Now it even saves my work from last time into the mini database that it creates here. Awesome stuff. Now, obviously, if you're just doing this for the first time, this is going to be blank to you. There's not going to be anything here. Now, I've created a couple test accounts and things for time's sake because it does take a long time for this stuff to go. So be prepared for that. Now, let me explain what's happening with this. So this isn't a true hidden web server that's running. If you notice up here, oh, you guys can't see it. I'm going to switch back to terminal. There's a switcher right above this URL here that is just off screen. I don't think I can put it on screen. Let me see if I can squish this thing down and, oh yes, I can. Man, I got to really stretch that thing out to get it to do it. Oh, there we go. Oh, perfect. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. Now we can see everything. I hope you guys can see everything. You guys can see everything, right? I'm going to ask everybody if you can. Going from there. So you can see everything. Here's the very top line where my mouse is. I don't think you guys. Oh, yeah, you can see kind of the gray bar as well. I hope so. That's what I'm seeing. Nobody's answering me, so I'm hoping you guys are either following along or getting a good nap in, one of the two. But I'm going to switch over to the terminal right here. Now I'm in the web browser, which is Firefox here. I'm going to switch over to terminal right there so you guys can see that this is still running. It's kind of hanging out. Thank you, Megan. Kind of hanging out right here, right? So I'm not going to touch this. This has to stay running. Don't close your terminal window. Okay? So I'm going to switch back over right here. And then I'm going to go and run a new scan just to kind of walk you guys through everything that this is capable of doing. All right. So before I go start typing anything, let me explain some examples of when you'd use this. Now, obviously, you're going to have your own use case to this. Oh, I'm sorry that the fonts are really small on this. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Zoom. Hey, look at that. Ha. Ta-da. You guys should be able to see that now. At least I hope so. If not, then I'm on these massively huge monitors. So I got two of these big 4K monitors. So it's really big to me. uh, but I hope this helps you guys see this stuff a little bit. I made it a little bit bigger. Cool. Awesome. Glad, John. Glad you can see that now. All right. So right here, it says you can scan target. You can, for one of the following, it'll automatically detect the type based off of what you type in here. Okay. So we can type in a domain name if we're going after a domain. So maybe you want to go after whatever, google.com, learn some information about, hey, whether DNS, if you're doing just some all around look at a domain. This will tell you also, I think, some emails associated with it, things like that. If you want some information on an IP address, it will do that. Now, obviously, don't type the EG, just type the numbers, okay? If you're going after an IPv6, you're a brave person. I don't usually mess with IPv6. Actually, I'm just IPv6 dumb. I'll just admit it. I'm IPv6 dumb. I've been with 4 my whole life, and now I got to learn something new, and I don't want to. But anyway, they have that capability as well. They do have subdomain and host name stuff. So if you want to look at a subdomain, you can do that as well. Okay, you can do that as well. Say you want to search a range, a whole subnet, you can absolutely do that too. Obviously, you put the slash in there and indicate what you want to do. Bitcoin address. I have to be honest. I see this, right? I see they say you can go after a Bitcoin address. If somebody knows how you would use this, by all means, post it down into chat. I'd be curious to see how this functions. I have some Bitcoin, so maybe I'll dig around and see if I have a Bitcoin address. I don't know. See, this has been a minute since I've been out of these investigations. I've never even done a Bitcoin investigation. So there's that. Email address, on the other hand, I do know about that. So you just type your email address in there. Okay. Make sure it's structured properly, everything that you need in there. You can also do a phone, right? Now they're saying you need to do the E164 format, and they're kind of giving you an example of that. So plus country code, and then the digits that go after that. Here in the U.S., it's going to be area code, city prefix, and then the actual 4-digit number, right? Is how that all works. So there is how you lay out a phone number. It will scan that, and I have tested this. It works pretty good. It's okay. Now, with the human name, you can go after somebody's name. So if I wanted to go after, which I won't do, by the way, Megan Ryberg, right? If I go after Megan's name, you just have to put this in quotes. They even do a good job of saying, hey, must be in quotes, because I don't read directions. And the first time I did this, I didn't put it in quotes, and it doesn't work that way. Same thing with the username. It has to be in quotes. Okay. It has to be in quotes. And then you have your network ASN, which you can just type that straight out. No worries. Okay. So pretty basic over on what you can go after over here. Now I'm going to slide down here a little bit and just show you there's essentially intensity levels that you can go after, right? If you want to be a little bit more quiet, clear down at the bottom, there's that passive mode, and it explains what that is. Then there's investigate, and there's footprint. And then as long as you know that, hey, it's going to expose you out here on the internet to some of this stuff, just always assume that anything you do is going to expose you, and you're okay, right? You want to use some tools that protect you. Again, I'm not using a proxy in this case because I'm just going to be looking at me. And so you may want to set some things up that kind of masks who you are. And there's other ways to do it. And there's still ways to find out who you are, even if you're semi-proxy. Just depends on the information that's being sent over. So just be aware of all that as we go into this. I'm going to go ahead and leave this to all because I don't care. I'm going to be noisy, and I'm going to come in like a bull in a china shop, essentially, and pull it. Now, see this word slow? They should be bolding this word slow because they're not kidding. It's slow. It's really stinking slow. But it gets you the information that you need. And it's not terrible. It takes, I don't know, for a full scan, I'll run one and we'll let it run in the background while we're going here. I've done some test ones just because I know this is slow. And I wanted to be able to show you guys how to do this. So let me slide back up. So, we can go required by required data. You can say, hey, I definitely want these things in here. I forgot to show you guys this. If you don't care about these things, like if you don't care, hey, if they have cloud storage bucket open, I don't care, right? Co-hosted sites, don't care. You can turn some of this on and off. It'll help refine your search down a little bit, and it'll help speed it up a little bit, like especially if you don't care about Bitcoin, if you don't care some about base64 data, it doesn't matter. You can turn it on and off. And then there's also modules, and this I want to explain because this is important. By default, all the free ones are turned on in Spiderfoot, right? Now you'll see these ones like this extract API with this little lock, and as you hover over it, it says needs an API key. Now, if you are really doing these on a professional level, and you're really trying to gather some serious threat intelligence or scanning a target, then you definitely should look into which APIs are best suited to your work case scenario, right? You want to know which ones. Now, there's a few in here. I'm going to slide down. I'm sorry, I'm on a magic mouse, and it does not like the parallels going back and forth in here, but I'm going to slide down through here, and you can see some of these, like Bing, right? Search Bing host for sharing the same IP. And I'm going to click this where it says, hey, it needs an IP. Oh, no, it's not in here. It's in settings. Sorry. Anyway, you can just turn these off and on from the module setting. If you don't need to scan these and you know you don't have an API key anyway, turn them off. It's going to save you a couple seconds because it looks at them and realizes you don't have an API key, and then it fails. But you can turn those on and off by module on your individual search here. Before I do a search, I want to show you these settings here. So here they are right here. If you have API keys, you can import them here. If you want to export your API keys, you can do it there. If you've gone in here and screwed it all up, which I tend to do, you can reset to factory default. Okay. So here are some of your global settings, which I'm not going to go through all these settings. Don't worry. You can go down through here and read these yourselves. But here's what I'm talking about. And I'm going to go back down to Bing right here. I'm going to go to Bing, highlight Bing. Oops. Come on, magic mouse. There we go. So Bing is highlighted, and I'm going to go grab the little slider bar here so it doesn't go crazy. So here is the API right here. And then you just paste it right in there, and it gives you max results from the API, depending on if you have a certain license that maybe say, hey, you're allowed maybe 100 hits out of the API a month or whatever. I don't know. You want to obviously turn this down so you don't spend your whole API allotment all in one hit. You can do that. And most of these have this help button right there if they have the little lock. And you can go and actually, it gives you a URL, how to get a free account, and it explains how to do all this stuff. Okay. So it does. I do not install any of these APIs, and there's a ton of them, guys. I'll tell you right now, obviously Google has one, Fraud Guard. There's just a ton of stuff in here. I welcome you to go down and look at these. But the good thing is there's a lot of free stuff in here as well. And that's all I'm going to use. Free stuff, no APIs, because I'm just going to show you the capabilities of this free software. Absolutely free. Just go and download it, and you can get it running. You don't necessarily need to download Kali. You can see it's just in a Git. Sorry, I had to cough. Okay, so I'm going to name this scan. I'm going to call it me. You can see it brings up your past ones too. It's like I had one called check me or my username, whatever. I'm just going to call this me. And then we can decide what we want to search for here. Now, I'm a simple person. You guys know this, right? There's not a whole lot of thought process that goes into a lot of what I do. And you can search for an email address. You can search for whatever. So I'm going to search for my Cyber Social Hub email address. You can see I've searched for a lot of them already. And that's it. Does it have to be in quotes? No, it does not have to be in quotes. So I'm good. Write that. I'm going to leave this set to all. And then literally all you have to do is click run scan. Now, when I click run scan here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run up here real quick and flip over to this terminal window, which you'll see is still standing by. right? There's no command prompt. Kind of see out of my my picture here. I'm going to slide myself over to the other side. There we go. So you can kind of see what's going on over here. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to hit run scan now. And there it goes. So it's loading all those modules really quickly. You can see all this amazing fun stuff that's happening. And you can see it's searching for different things. Oh, it just searched MySpace. Did you guys see that? Sorry, that made me laugh. It totally searched for MySpace. So it's failing to connect to a lot of these things. And I'm hoping it's going to work, but this is why it's going way too fast. I don't think it's going to connect. Yeah, it did. I saw a MySpace go through. Yeah, this doesn't look right. So I'm getting a lot of these fail. I can see it right here. Yeah, there's an error, failed to connect. So anyway, it's a little bit finicky sometimes. But I'm going to switch back to the browser part, and I'm going to go back to and click the Spiderfoot logo over here. And we can kind of see right here, it's running, right? And there's one element. Now, literally, I just did these, and you can see I just did these a couple hours ago, right? It's 2:30 Eastern now, and I just ran this guy at noon. I ran one of my other gamer accounts here at noon. So I've been making sure this works because right in here, it wasn't working too well. I was a little panicked, but I got it working in here, and I'll show you how this works. Okay. So at any time though, we can hit, don't hit rerun, you can hit refresh and you'll see if there's any new elements that come up. Now keep in mind, it won't add the elements until it's completely done with a certain subset. So in this case, it's searching all of those social networks. It's running those modules that it loaded. So it doesn't have the ability to load progress in the module section as it goes. Now, that's not true. I ran like a domain check on cybersocialhub.com here, and it absolutely, of course, there's 14,000 elements it located, but it can load them as they finish categories. I want to call them categories. I don't know the proper term of what Spiderfoot calls them, but say it goes through your DNS records, boom, once it's done, it'll push those into the loader as it jumps over to maybe email tracking, trying to find email addresses associated to the domain. It'll do all that fun stuff for you so you can view it. But you want to hit refresh here opposed to rerun. Don't rerun it. All right. So what I did as a test, I went over to Twitter and literally the first person I saw on Twitter, I didn't log in because I just went over here and I just went twitter.com right here. All right. And once it loaded up, I just kind of scrolled through here. Oops. I went through, I don't know. Why isn't it showing me the actual stuff? What did I pick before? I had to pick a topic here. Let me pick, I don't want to get into politics on here. Some of this stuff's silly. WonderCon. What the heck's WonderCon? I'm scared. I shouldn't have clicked that because I don't know what WonderCon is. It may be some weird fetish thing that I just clicked on. Okay, so that's not too bad. I want to scroll a little bit here. Oh, it's an anime. Oh, great. Nerd conference. Good. So what we can do is we can click on any one of these people. Say you find somebody on Twitter that, hey, maybe he's a target and you want to take a look at, right? And that you need to investigate these people like this geek girl off, right? So that's what I did over here. I just picked somebody and I picked this person and I made the mistake of going into politics. I shouldn't have done that, but I clicked it because it was the first thing I saw. And then this person popped up here and I ran that scan for the username. Same scan that you see me running for my email. I ran it for this username. So I'm going to go ahead and click this and show you results. Okay. Again, this is all public information. This isn't anything private there's no hacking. There's nothing like that involved. I'm saying that for my people, YouTube, who want to make a complaint against me. It's all open source. You can go look it up yourself. It's all there. So here it is, account on external site. This is what you're interested in. We found 45 of them. And again, I just found these today, just a couple hours ago. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the stuff. And it's going to show me all of the accounts associated with that username. Now, here's the thing. All of us know as investigators that can different people have the same username? Yes, absolutely. So we have to be careful here. We can't always assume that this all belongs to one person. And I say that because there's some shady stuff as we get down in through this. I randomly picked one, which was pretty good. Normally, I don't pick a very good one right off. But the thing that I like really about Spiderfoot here is it provides you the link that you can go look to kind of help verify, hey, is this the same person, right? So I'm going to look through here. So, hey, look here. Here's a Fortnite account. There is a Fiverr. For those of you who know that Fiverr's out there, you can go and I'm going to go ahead and just click on one of these. And you can see, oops, can I get rid of that? Here we go. And you can kind of see all of the stuff, the comments that this person or this username was, and maybe be able to track down who it is. Maybe if there's any relevant information in here. So I'm going to go back over here. And there's some political stuff in here too. Gab, I was not even aware of this website. So what this person claims to be on Twitter is that they're a conspiracy theorist debunker. Okay, fine. So kind of like a wannabe journalist. I don't know what they really do. I don't know this person. I don't want to talk bad about them, but I believe the people on social media just as much as I believe our mainstream media anymore doesn't exist. So we can click here. You can hate me for saying that. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. So I don't know who these people are, but there they are. And you can kind of see that, well, he's not a real fan of Donald Trump, right? Poopy pants. All right. Anyway, I wasn't aware this site existed, but, there's some funny stuff on here. Anyway, there's some weird people. But so immediately, credibility has gone down the toilet with this person, whether they're a real debunker or not, just because of it's already pretty leaning that they work one way or the other. And you guys are investigators yourselves. You can figure all this stuff out. So that's kind of a way that we can take a look at all these things as we go down through here. So here's their Instagram account, GitLab. Some of these social I've never even heard of. I believe Mastodon, right? Minds was one that I've never heard of before. This is kind of a Twitter wannabe type scenario when everybody was bailing off of Twitter. So that one's there. Again, we can go look all of this stuff up, and it tells you the classification, which some of these make me laugh. I had met with Megan just before we went live to make sure that you guys could see and everything was working okay. But there's a one here called, oh yeah, hey, look at that. There's a Pornhub user, and the category is XXX porn XXX, which is funny. There was one that classified as political, which I didn't necessarily think was political, but anyway, it was the video service. What's that? Rumble, right? I mean, there's a lot of political stuff on it, but anyway, I don't necessarily think of it that way. But there's Telegram. So we can learn a lot about this person. Again, we just have to remember, hey, is it the same person? Is it not? Oh, here's Truth Social. So Truth Social, in my mind, is a pretty political platform, right? But they classified this one as social. So again, take these things for what they're worth, right? Do your own investigation and due diligence on these categories and where it's at and what this stuff might be. I personally don't care either way, but it does lean a little bit. So I did look at this person quite a bit just to kind of see what kind of intel, what kind of information can I get about this person. So what they do is they create, it appears, again, this was a quick look. It appears that they create accounts on typically right-leaning platforms and just go in and rile everyone up. That's what it does. I guess if you're bored, you can do it either way. If you're a righty, you go to the leftist ones. Either way. That's what they seem to enjoy and have a lot of fun doing. So, hey, to each their own. And here's their Twitter account. This is where I originally found them. And I just, again, copied their username, popped it into here, and off it went. It was really that simple, and it gives us a lot of information. There's a lot of information in here. So let me go back to all of the scans here. This one finished. As you can see, it probably did not finish correctly. So something's a little awry about this one. because it should have found a lot more than this. I'm going to try to rerun it in the background. So I'm going to click it. If you ever need to rerun one of these things, if something goes bonkers on you, you can just check it and then just hit the rerun selected. And it'll actually duplicate. You can see it duplicated the case essentially, and we'll start to rerun it in the background. We can flip over there to confirm it's rerunning. Whoa, I'm scrolling through this. Yeah, see, it's failing again. I'm so glad I created some of these ahead of time. I'm not sure why we're getting these failures on here, but hey, that's all right because again, I pre-built a lot of these, so we don't have to worry about it. So here is mine, right? So these are mine right here. Well, I do want to show you a little bit about the domain stuff too. So I went ahead and took a peek at Cyber Social Hub domain. Again, Cyber Social Hub. None of this stuff is private because it's all attainable from the internet. You can see and pull any email addresses associated with that domain. Now, what I found was interesting. Most of these email addresses, and I'm not going to show these, most of these are not associated in any way to Cyber Social Hub. It's maybe Cyber Social Hub was linked on a site somewhere that somebody else was running, and that email pulled from the article or something like that. But it does pull a huge, wide range of data and information. I'm going to kind of just walk through this. Again, you can see this one, this particular one I did yesterday. And the domain stuff's always been working. So you can see it pulls a lot of information. So you can see, hey, IP address, you click these and it's pulling a lot of weird stuff, apps at apple.com because it's resolving a DNS. And hey, you know what? Cyber Social Hub has an app on the App Store. I don't know. I didn't check this IP, but it's coming back right there. Amazon SES, which is the simple email service, right? Cyber Social Hub uses that in the back end to kick emails back and forth to its members on the back end. Like if you add somebody as a friend or you reply to their message, it goes through there. So it's pulling all of this stuff out of the DNS resolve. Okay. So, and again, you can go through here and look all day long and you'll see, yep, hey, Cloudflare. Yeah, right on. But again, I'm not afraid to show all this stuff because all you guys got to do is go here and type it in yourself and you'll get the same results. So I might as well be the one showing it, right? Sure, why not? Let me see here. All right. I haven't lost you guys yet. There's still a few of you hanging out. That's good. So then what I want to show you then also is, did I search? I'm going to try this search again right here because I know this one netted some results and I want to see if something's really broken with this. And it's so weird. I was literally, really? Yeah. All right. Whatever. I just did it. Here, let's go in and look at this. Because I just searched, all I did was search I have a name on PlayStation that I use. And my son uses it too. So if you message it, just keep in mind a 7-year-old maybe on the other end. So I play games with this particular one. I'm going to go ahead and do a new scan on it. And I'm going to just call it my gaming one. Got to give it a unique name. And then I'm going to give it my screen name, which we do have to put in quotes here. Right here, Brain Rift. So there it is. Brain Rift is my gamer handler I've had for, I don't know, a little while. I'm going to go ahead and search. I'll go ahead and do all. Why not? Hit run scan here. And hopefully this thing is working now. I don't know. It's being pretty funky. It's loading up all the modules. Hey, that's working. Yeah, there you go. You can see, I'm going to see if I can scroll up a little bit and pause this. There we go. So you can see it's searching for GitHub for me. It's searching all kinds of weird places like 247sports.com for this user. Obviously, they know a lot of these pre-programmed how profiles are stored. So it's just searching basically for a response. Is there something there? Is there something that exists there or not? So this is definitely working. A few of them fail here. Like this one, it failed back. Gives us the reason why. So if you really like to read command line stuff, this is going to be a lot of fun for you. If you don't, then you're going to hate all of this stuff. Glamour escorts. I do not have an account on Glamour escorts, by the way. Just to be clear, if something does come back, it's not me, which it doesn't come back. It fails, by the way. Can see you guys right now checking this, but it's literally they have this big, huge database of stuff that they already check. Manny, I could search for Manny. We may find some interesting stuff in there, but I won't do that to you. Don't worry, Manny. But as you look through here, all kinds of stuff that you can possibly find. Again, I'm going to scroll to the bottom. You can see it's finding a lot of stuff. Lot of stuff. Man, he says, yeah, he's definitely there. Yeah, no doubt. So this one does seem to be working okay when we search for the username. For some reason, it didn't like my email address. Oh, you know why? I know why. Because that email address isn't real. It's an alias. So I wonder if that had something to do with it. Huh. I'm so cheap. I hate paying for email addresses because I have obviously our primary company is called A Very Forensic Solutions, and everything else is a product of that main company. It makes things so much easier to run. But yeah, there it goes. So it's pulling down quite a bit of stuff. So now I'm glad you guys get to see it working. And then as we over here, if we go back to Spiderfoot, click the logo, again, you can see all that stuff it's scanning. It's not showing there's any results as of yet because it's still running. Again, you can choose to stop it. If I would check this box and hit stop, it will populate what we have so far. But just let it run. In my opinion, just let it run. But if you're in a pinch and you need to stop it and just see the initial results, you absolutely can do that. But I have the same one right here, so we can just go look at this one. And this is pretty accurate from the things I've seen. Like I have accounts on Hackaday. I don't know what this was. Oh, Minecraft. Yep, that's definitely true. We're big Minecraft players here in my household. We have probably 3 Minecraft servers that we rent, and the kids can get on with their friends. They're all password protected because I don't trust outside world servers. I worked child cases way too long. So then Reddit, which I can't access this account. Somebody hacked me, and then I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, there's a lot of things on here that are me, and there's some things I found that were not me as well. I can't think of any examples right off the top, but that's a pretty good thing. So if you're looking for somebody either via an email address or have a social account, and you want to see where else they are, because people are creatures of habit, right? They're going to use the same thing or their same username somewhere else. Here's something else I wanted to show you really quick. I don't think it'll be on correlations. No, not here. Will graph work? Yeah. So there's a button here called graph, right? And it goes to the main username right here. And then it builds all of these little offshoots. Now, this is a pretty, what I call a Starbright thing. None of them are connected to each other. But I'm going to jump over to one that is connected. I'm just going to warn you guys right now. This is going to be ugly. This one's smaller? This is an old server we have right here. So I'm going to use this one just because it's smaller. There's not as much data. Cyber Social Hub's data is huge. So here's this graph. And I'm sorry, I'm going to try to fit it all on the screen. I know I'm not doing a great job of that. If I move this down, do we lose? Yeah, we do lose a little bit. So right here, the red dot is the main site. Okay. And then everything links to that somehow. And you're like, how would you ever find anything in this mess? You can zoom in and take a look. But it also has this really cool feature, like most analytical tools do, is this right here. It's got a random layout, but right here is a forced layout. It's going to force it to what it thinks is the best view, the most organized view for it. You can see, so it's going to do this little twitchy thing for a little while and then jump around and then eventually just kind of settle out and build this map for you. And you say, well, how can I get this map? Right here, export the data. Just export your map right out. Save the image. You can absolutely do that too. But I'm going to go ahead and just zoom in and we can kind of see some of the correlation here of some of these. I don't know anything about this site anymore. This is one we put up a long time ago to test some social features of a website we were working on and haven't touched it since. So a lot of these things are kind of just worthless. They don't look like they're anything interesting, and I can't zoom in anymore. But what I do want to see is the ones that shoot out over here. Is that Font Awesome? Yeah, I think Font Awesome is probably on there. So there's the www of it. Yeah, so here's the, yes, it is stored on Amazon. So these are probably accurate, this little pool of servers for it. I don't know if it's on a, it's definitely on a CDN. I don't know if it's on a distributed, like at the server wide. Images we always distribute out, but I don't know if this is. So we'd have to peek at it to see how it's constructed a little bit. But you can kind of see there's some email addresses associated with it over here. I don't know if they're members or people that signed up for the site, because again, we put it live just to test to see what would work or not. But here you have some Amazon stuff and some other sites also connected to it. Here's some more. Why can't I move this? There we go. Yeah, there's definitely some other AWS stuff going on here between the servers. Again, it takes a little while to organize this stuff. One of the things that I do want to show you too, obviously this is way too much data and I shouldn't show that much either. But you know, if you pick one, like say this Patriot Coach, and say this was something that you wanted to highlight, you can actually grab it and bring it over here and drop it. Some of this stuff, Patriot Beer, really? All right. Whatever. Maya Very Hosting. That's one of my old names of the company, a hosting part of the company. So that one's important, right? If we go here and we can just, oh wait, there's Patriot Beer. That's a gotta have. So you can go and pull these things out and make the map as you want it to. All right. So we can go and do that. And there is a full log in here as well. You can check various correlations here, which I wanted to show you. It shows you the risk factor of it if you're doing red team, blue team stuff. Obviously, it shows you risks, blue team, things like that, right? That you can check out. So that's the CDN right there. Media, Patriot Social. I just remembered that as I saw it. So you can go in and check all this stuff out. But for usernames, for all around just gathering information about a particular target, or you need to assess vulnerabilities of a particular company, check their email addresses that are exposed, whose email address is exposed, is C-suite email levels exposed out on the internet. You can see all of that stuff as you pull in various domain information and whether the emails are out there and available. Something you definitely want to check if you're checking the security risk with a company, and what's forward facing out on the internet is these types of scans. Obviously, if you're doing a criminal investigation, it's great to find social, different links there. You can do it that way as well. So I'm gonna see and look for any questions. You guys were actually quiet in this one. I'm used to everybody harassing one another here. I don't see any other questions. Hopefully, if you guys have some questions, let me know. Now's the time to answer. If there's something in here that you want to see, let me know. Because again, it's really easy to run. There's no, literally just kick off the command line, open the browser, and the thing's running. And it runs, here's the biggest thing, it runs on your local machine. For those of you who don't like to store data in the cloud, it loads, stores, local machine. Obviously, it's reaching out to pull data, right? But it's storing everything locally. So you don't have to rely on a third party or something like that to store your data, which I thought was pretty stinking cool to do that. So does anyone have any questions through that? We're going to put this into the how-to section as well on YouTube, as well as it'll stay in the HubCast too. So we can go from there. I'm going to switch this back to my view right here, and waiting to see if there's any questions, because we're about 6 minutes till. I look over, I was thinking, man, am I going to be able to fill an hour with this? I was planning on being done in 30 minutes, but it seemed to go pretty well, the demo, minus a couple of the little email things, which I'll look and see why the email stuff didn't work later on. And I'll post maybe in Cyber Social Hub. I don't know if I have this tool in our library or not. If so, I'll put it in there with a link to this video so you guys can see it. No questions. I'm still talking, waiting for questions. Anything guys else you want to see? Yeah, I know 30 minutes, Megan and me. It's just, I can talk for no reason for 30 minutes. Just about anything. All right, guys. If there's nothing else, and if you guys like this kind of videos, go ahead and hit the like button. and say, hey, we'd like to see more of this kind of stuff. That's what we try to do, is mix it up between guests, actual learning stuff. Again, we're just trying to get information out there to the community as best that we can. Awesome. I appreciate the likes, guys. Thank you very much. If you have not joined Cyber Social Hub yet, it's cybersocialhub.com, 100% free. 100% free. There's no charges to be there. Now, obviously, we do use your email address to send you information. However, we never, ever sell it to a third party. So those vendors that you see in there will never get your email address. We send you stuff on behalf of them. Now, if you sign up for like their webinar or something like that, that's a different story. And we kind of tell you that down there in the small text, like, hey, the vendor is going to get your email address if you sign up for this, just so you are aware of that. But we will never do that. We'll send you stuff on their behalf because I'm a big privacy guy. I hate spam is really what it comes down to. And we won't sell your information out there. We will send you stuff on their behalf. Like we sent out one for our friends over there at Datigo. We sent some stuff out for Monolith. So various people we will send emails out for. You probably got a couple from Xtero, things like that. Good, John. Hey, I'm glad you like the platform. Any feedback that you have on Cyber Social Hub, we obviously are trying to tailor it to the investigators, to the researchers, to the cybersecurity professionals. Things that you want to see that we may not have, let us know. We'll put it in there for you, or do our best to get it in there for you if we don't already have it or don't have a resource. We'll do our best to do that. So until then, guys, you guys have an awesome weekend. All right. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Happy investigating. If you have any questions, let us know. And come on over to Cyber Social Hub, and we'll talk to you guys next week. We'll see you.